Coming up next, Advocate Capital client Craig Carlson. Hey Craig, how are you?
Doing great, Mike.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for agreeing to say a few words about your experience as our client. So if a lawyer is watching this and is wondering how being an Advocate Capital client might benefit their firm, what would you say?
Well, having the assets to actually develop a firm is critical to success, and particularly for smaller firms. If you want to grow your firm and have more cases, you're going to need the capital to actually support those cases. And of course, even if you want to not grow your firm as far as caseload, but just grow a case and make it more valuable, it takes money. And the money for really experts doing modules for trial, if you want to try cases, you got to have money. The other side, the insurance industry for car wrecks, for example, or the drug industry for mass torts, has all the money in the world. And the only way we can compete with them at all is if we have some capital, which I think is your book, David and Goliath, is kind of about.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. That book's been very helpful to help non-lawyers understand what plaintiff lawyers do as well. So once in a while we speak to a prospective client and they tell us, well, I'm concerned that if I try to pass borrowing costs through to my cases, that my clients will object. What's your experience been on that?
Well, my experience has been because of your low interest rate, they have no problem with it. In fact, oftentimes with clients who are severely injured, we need to help them through the period between when they got injured and when they get paid. And so the only way to do that is with money.
Yep.
And a lot of lawyers, unfortunately, send people out to get funding through these other, I don't want to mention the companies, but these other funding companies with 18, 20, 30% interest rates. And that's not good for the clients at all.
Right.
And so it's much better if we are funding the cases because industry-wide, you all have the best, what I found is the best interest rates and of course the best customer service as well.
Well, thanks, Craig. We appreciate that. Now, sometimes a law firm needs help in the beginning being a customer, explaining this to their clients. So do you sit down and explain to your client? If so, what kind of things do you say to your client about the interest pass-through?
Yes, and so with every client, you have to explain it, and it has to be in your contract so that they understand what they're getting into. And I've never had a client ever say, hey, this is not something I want to do, or I don't want to, I'm going to pick another lawyer because of this.
Yeah.
They've never had that experience. In fact, clients often comment on how low the interest rate is and almost joke like they wish they could get their credit card interest rate or something like that.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Excellent.
So it's to me, it's no brainer. Unless you're a very, very wealthy guy and you can, and you have millions of dollars sitting around that you can utilize for your law firm, and it won't affect how you pay your staff or it won't affect how you run your firm.
Yeah.
You're going to need somebody. And there's a lot of legal funding companies out there. And we were mentioning the interest rates for clients that even have worse interest rates for lawyers. And I really encourage lawyers to shop around and maybe even give you all a try and before they go out and get these other funding companies.
Well, thank you very much, Craig. We really appreciate that. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks again for being a customer.
You're welcome, Mike. Have a good day.
Thanks.